Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Several teams have shown interest in Lauri Markkanen this season, and the Warriors are one of them. Adding Lauri Markkanen for this season would be spectacular for the Warriors, who would have a very strong team. Executive Mike Dunleavy Jr. will need to put together a good package of players and draft picks to bring in Lauri Markkanen. This could get interesting. As the Golden State Warriors' free agency remains stagnant, their roster still maintains a glaring hole at the position of center, and, before the offseason ends, it is an absolute necessity that they fill that positional need. While they have been heavily rumored to be approaching a deal with veteran center Al Horford, a long-rumored and more expensive trade target, Lauri Markkanen, may have become available given the Utah Jazz's recent moves, opening up a surprising option for the franchise this offseason. Although the financial details of acquiring Markkanen would be exceedingly complex, he would be a game-changing acquisition for Golden State, and news of his availability should excite fans. Lauri Markkanen's availability could alter the Warriors' offseason plans. The Jazz, who finished an abysmal 17-65 and were last place in the Western Conference last season, received the 5th overall pick in the draft and selecting controversial forward Ace Bailey to add to their budding young core. However, as the team continues to flesh out its roster, a series of recent trades have signaled their intention to again enter into a full rebuild. Just before the start of free agency, the Jazz traded young guard Colin Sexton to the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for Jusuf Nurkic and a 2030 second-round pick. Moreover, they recently completed a 3-team deal that sent John Collins to the Los Angeles Clippers and resulted in Utah receiving Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a 2027 second-round pick. By selling low on both of these players, the Jazz have moved with definite intention to secure their cap flexibility and hold on to their ample draft capital, and, as it appears they are ready to trade away their veterans, it is a real possibility that Markkanen could be on the move next. Markkanen, who averaged 19 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 1.5 assists last season after signing a 5-year, $240 million contract extension with the Jazz, would be highly coveted by teams around the league despite his significant cost. Last offseason, Golden State was linked to Markkanen all the way up until he signed his extension and became ineligible to become traded last season. While the Warriors' situation has changed somewhat with the arrival of Jimmy Butler, their biggest need remains the same, and, given the franchise's apparent willingness to do what it takes to win another championship in their current window, it would not be surprising if they were in on Markkanen again this time around. Jonathan Kuminga predicted to sign $95 million contract, but not with Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga has all sorts of immense basketball talent. He just needs to find a home. The restricted free agent from the Golden State Warriors is still lingering on the market looking for the right fit. It's not yet clear whether any other teams have made an official offer sheet to the RFA, but some may still come as the month progresses. SB Nation's Ricky O'Donnell thinks another California team might get into the mix. He predicts that Kuminga will sign with the Sacramento Kings for 4 years and $95 million. The latest smoke has been all about the Sacramento Kings, O'Donnell writes. The Kings reportedly offered Devin Carter, Dario Saric, and 2 second-round picks, which Golden State deemed a low-ball offer. I actually think that's a nice return for a player who never fit well into Steve Kerr's system. I liked Carter in last year's draft as a point-of-attack defender who can get off some threes, and they can probably find a taker for Saric on an expiring deal. Kuminga makes some sense for the Kings because they just need upside swings, and he could finally leverage his physical gifts away from Kerr's read-and-react defense. The Kings offer the cleanest fit of any potential suitor. The Warriors just need to agree to play ball. Kuminga with the Kings would also give him a chance to play against the Warriors plenty, if he's got a vengeful side to him. He proved in the playoffs that he can score, but Steve Kerr doesn't like putting him on the court at the same time as Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, and they're still both crucial to what the Warriors do. Kuminga probably needs to go elsewhere to spread his wings, and the right destination just might be the Kings. Warriors linked to 10-year NBA veteran in free agency shakeup. The Golden State Warriors have stayed quiet in free agency so far. But with several rotation spots still up for grabs, that could be about to change, and one experienced forward might be on the way. According to Brett Siegel, the Warriors are showing interest in Trey Lyles, a 10-year veteran who most recently suited up for the Sacramento Kings. The 6'9" stretch big is currently an unrestricted free agent. Lyles averaged 6.5 points and 4.6 rebounds last season on 42% shooting from the field and 34% from deep. Though his numbers don't jump off the page, he's carved out a reputation as a reliable rotational forward who can space the floor and hold his own defensively. He also brings versatility, able to play either forward spot or operate as a small ball 5. Trey Lyles, Malcolm Brogdon, Chris Boucher, and Gary Payton II are the secondary names I got for you here, Siegel wrote. Jonathan Kuminga is the first domino to fall, and then the Warriors will know their financial situation to round out their roster. If the Warriors can land Lyles on a team-friendly deal, he'd likely fill the void left by Kevin Looney, who recently signed with the Pelicans. His ability to knock down threes and defend multiple positions could give Golden State a much-needed boost off the bench. Warriors weighing multiple free agent options. Lyles isn't the only name floating around. Malcolm Brogdon, the former Wizards guard, has also been linked to Golden State. Jake Fisher reports that the Warriors are among several teams expressing interest in Brogdon, who is open to a sign-and-trade exit from Washington. At 32, Brogdon brings veteran leadership, playoff experience, and strong two-way play. He averaged 12.7 points and 4.1 assists in just 24 games last season, dealing with injuries on a rebuilding Wizards team. The Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Bucks, Kings, Pelicans, and Timberwolves are also among the teams reportedly monitoring Brogdon's status. Golden State taking a patient approach. Don't mistake silence for complacency. The Warriors are still operating with one goal in mind, putting the right pieces around Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green to chase another championship. For now, the front office appears focused on waiting out the market and identifying value signings. With veterans like Lyles and Brogdon still on the board, Golden State has options, and the flexibility to strike when the time is right. He's their type of player. Golden State Warriors urged to trade Jonathan Kuminga for Chicago Bulls free agent. The Golden State Warriors are having a quiet offseason thus far, as they have yet to decide what to do with Jonathan Kuminga, who remains a restricted free agent. Most recently, Gilbert Arenas pitched for the Golden State Warriors to send Jonathan Kuminga to the Chicago Bulls in exchange for Josh Giddey, who is also a restricted free agent this offseason. They're looking like they'd try to go after like a Josh Giddey type. That's their type of player. Giddey, Arenas suggested on his podcast. They'd put Giddey at the 1, he continued. They'd put him at the point and say, yeah, just do you. Now they have a guy who's going to rebound, pass the ball, shoot like he'll hit shots. Golden State Warriors have a handshake deal with NBA champion free agent, claims insider. The Golden State Warriors are keen to add a center following the free agency departure of Kevin Looney. And according to Mark Grandy of 95.7 The Game, the Golden State Warriors have had a handshake deal with Al Horford. I don't think the holdup on Al Horford is him deciding whether he wants to retire or not. My read is that GSW has a handshake agreement with him in place, but it could be slightly edited depending on how much extra money they have to play with based on the Kuminga outcome, Grandy posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. Horford is one of the top free agents available at the moment despite his age. The 39-year-old center averaged 9.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists on 42/36/90 shooting splits across 60 regular season games, 42 starts, in 2024-25 with the Boston Celtics. Bradley Beal joining Warriors would seal inevitable fate of young forward. JK's role would become even more limited. Whether it's this offseason through a sign-and-trade or before next year's midseason deadline, it feels inevitable that Jonathan Kuminga will depart the Golden State Warriors at some point in the next 12 months. Perhaps there's a chance that Kuminga could solidify his future with the Warriors given their need for more scoring beyond Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler, but that too may become redundant if the franchise can find a way to land 3x All-Star Bradley Beal in the coming days or weeks. The Warriors have been linked to impending free agent Bradley Beal. Beal is set to become a free agent once his expected buyout with the Phoenix Suns is finalized, with Golden State one of a host of teams set to have interest in the 32-year-old who would leapfrog to the top of the remaining market. Fred Katz of The Athletic mentioned on Monday that the Warriors would be one of the teams Beal would be interested in joining, while Jake Fisher of the Stein line omitted Golden State but then corrected his initial report on Tuesday. Yesterday we reported that the Clippers, Lakers, Bucks and Wolves were confirmed suitors for Bradley Beal, and I'm told that the Warriors also should be added to the. While Beal didn't work as a third scoring option in Phoenix, he would be much more palatable in that role while being on a fifth or even 10th of the contract. The veteran guard has still been an efficient scorer over the past 2 seasons, putting up a combined average of 17.6 points per game on 50.5% shooting from the floor and 40.7% from three-point range. It's that three-point shooting that would make him a far better fit alongside Curry and Butler, even if there would undoubtedly be defensive concerns with an undersized backcourt. But where would it leave Kuminga? Most likely back as Golden State's fourth go-to option offensively at best, clearly a role that he's not going to be suited to nor thrilled about. Kuminga's remaining hope of making it with Golden State will come if he's a featured offensive option. That's unlikely to happen as is with Steve Kerr as his coach, let alone if the franchise also brought Beal into the mix. It might be a moot point anyway. In fact, there's probably more chance that neither Kuminga or Beal are on the Warriors next season, as opposed to both being in the Bay Area. However, on the small chance that Golden State actually has both, you can be rest assured that Kuminga would immediately be in trade conversations once eligible.